Allen, Missouri. We're a homeschool team, and I'm Eric. This is my 6th year in the first program, 4 FLL and 2 FTC.
Hi, I'm Dakota Stevens, and this is my first year. I'm 14, and I'm happy to be here.
At the start of the season, we attended the reveal and went directly from there to a local fast food restaurant where we discussed point values, strategy, and ways of picking up balls effectively.
We had multiple ideas, and we tested all of them with cardboard and scrap metal. 2 of these ideas we really looked at and felt deeply about. One of them was a sweeper design, which would sweep the balls into a bucket, and then we would dump into the goals. We would raise it with our linear slide. And the other design was just a plain old bucket, where we would use the field to pick up balls. Now, the linear slide was not compact enough, so we decided to go with the bucket. Now, we had some issues with our bucket. One of our issues was that the servo could not turn the bucket into its various positions, so we had to put a 1 to 2 gear on it, and now it has plenty of power. The other problem we faced was that whenever we got a small ball in the back of our bucket towards this corner, it would jam our pivot point so that we could not dump.
How the bucket works is we have it flat and the lid is open, so we have a large area to pick up balls, and then we close our lid, raise it up, and we tip it forward, and it angles them all to a smaller space with the slant of the bucket. Our drivetrain is a 6-wheel drive, well, 4-powered, 6 wheels total originally, but our front left wheel had to be removed in order to fit our latest box because it's wider than the sweeper method. And after doing so, we realized that driving down the ramp, our front right wheel would hit the mat, making us veer left. So we made it a tipping wheel instead and added a bunch of weights back in the back to keep us from tipping very much. And our wheels, we used Andy Mark wheels instead of the standard Tetrix because it's a flat surface instead of round, and it's better material. That, along with our weights, gives us intense pushing ability.
Another part of our robot is the grabbers, which started out up high, and then we moved them down lower because leverage was working against us. Because whenever we would drive forward, because of such a long reach, the goal would slip out from under the piece of metal that we used to grab the goal. Another problem that we faced after we moved them down was that the servo horn might break off if enough pressure was applied to our grabbers. So what we did is we moved our servos inside our frame and then used gears to pivot our grabbers.
As part of my school this year, I have been learning Creo, and I haven't finished designing everything in it because I'm still learning how to make all the custom parts, but I have all the Tetrix parts designed. For our outreach, we, in the summer, hosted 2 FLL training camps, 3 days out of the week for 12 kids. And that is actually where we found him 2 years ago to join our team. And you can talk about programming.
And for programming, I had to start from scratch. But lucky me, I had a mentor that taught me about programming. For programming, I enjoyed making a slow button. And what my slow button does is whenever you're driving forward and you press the button, it goes half speed, which I found really cool. And then another part that I programmed was the tank drive, which might not seem that interesting because most robots here use it, but I found it really cool since it was being my first year.
Another outreach thing we did is at a local library, we presented in front of 50 families about FTC, FLL, and we demonstrated our robot from last year. And we also volunteered at a FLL competition. Do you have any questions for us?
You're the team, two people?
There's one more, but he wasn't able to make it today.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so it's just, there are three of you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you work out, did you have a chance to work at any practice fields or work anywhere?
The meetings are in our basement, in my basement, and we have a half field set up there, and we practiced driving and on it. We've actually gotten pretty good at it.
So, talk to me about your mentor experience with programming.
Well, I did have a little bit of programming experience, not with Robot C, but with like C and C++. I didn't have too much experience. I looked up YouTube videos on the different programming languages, but I didn't have experience until I joined the team. And then I really found it interesting to program, and I found it fun. Now, my mentor, he's really nice, and he really helps me out a lot. He finds ways to make it shorter and easier, and he even tells me how it works. And if you want to have some handout sheets about my programming.
You didn't talk about your autonomous mode. Do you have an autonomous mode?
Yes. We made a very uncomplex autonomous mode since this is our first competition. And we didn't have a lot of time because we were mostly working out the kinks on our robot. Do you have anything to say about it?
It raises our linear slide a little off the ground and then drives down the ramp to right in front of the balls to start picking them up and gets us off the ramp.
So you don't try to pick up the
No.
sensor?
So no sensors in that stand.
Tell me a little bit more about the CAD work that you did.
Well, I designed everything in all the Tetrix parts. At least I have everything up to a few weeks before the competition. And I also did, in SketchUp, I did an earlier design, but I don't have that here. And
Did you use that as far as your construction? Use this as far as planning your robot?
no, we built the robot and I had to trying to catch up to what we had
I
built.
understand.
Tell me what your definition of gracious professionalism is.
Well, just being respectful and, well, you want to win, but you don't want to win just because the other team their robot didn't work.
Yeah, so you said you did outreach at a library.
Yeah.
What library and where did you go?
I don't remember. It's in like O'Fallon area. I'm not sure.
How do you know how you set that up?
Well, about a year ago, we demonstrated at a 50-plus club that my grandpa goes to,
Okay.
and one of the people there knew someone from the library and told them about it, and they wanted us to demonstrate there.
Awesome. So did you get anybody to sign up for your team?
No, they're mainly smaller people.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went to inspire them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And after building our drivetrain, we moved this wheel. We wanted to move forward after making this tipping wheel. So we decided to offset it and put it in order to fit it around the linear slide, we had to offset it. That actually ended up helping our turning quite a bit by making it more rounded around.
What is the most innovative thing on the aero bike?
I don't really know.
What idea are you most proud of, I guess?
Well, just having a robot with only 2 people mainly.